Weed. Weed? Weed? Yes, these are actually made out of weed. They look like metal and, but, our technology is so advanced that we can make anything out of weed. Oh, that reminds me of the Cheech and Chong movie. Remember, they're in the van, and the van is actually made out of weed, right? Or the fenders are or something, and they're coming up, and then the tailpipe gets part of the van smoking on fire, and then the motorcycle cop comes up behind him, right? And he's been smelling the smoke coming off of the back of the van so long that he forgot why he stopped him. Except, was it Tommy had a half-eaten hot dog sitting on the dash? And so he looks in there and he goes, "You going to finish that hot dog?" "No, man. No, you can have it." And so he takes and walks back to his motorcycle. The good old days. Okay, so Weed and Company. I was sitting there at first like, is it, hold on, marijuana got 7? Yeah, they got, okay, that's marijuana legal. Okay, I get it. Weed and Company and Winchester, Ohio, 2021. So the whole story here is Cooper, Gilbert Cooper, Cutlery. About 1895, Winchester started very much alive. But in 1933, they went broke. And so Queen City Cutlery bought them out and later changed its name to Queen Cutlery, blah, blah, blah. And then 2018, Queen's done and blah, blah, blah. And so Titusville, Titusville, where GEC or Great Eastern Cutlery is also made in the same industrial park, blah, blah, blah. Both companies getting along fine, doing their thing, right? But when Cooper came and he bought the names and the machinery and everything, he wanted to go ahead and continue production there in Titusville. But apparently the industrial park manager, real estate people, and or city mayor wasn't responsive and pretty much gave him this cold shoulder and shoved him out. Or at least that's how the story goes. I'll give you the link to the story that's in this Queen Cutlery history. And this is traditional. Hold on. Okay, hold on. This is traditional pocket knives. Hold on, let's just go past here because this is the Shatton Morgan is back. Okay. So I know, hey, you just putting a piece of paper in front of the camera. That's weird. That's old school. Yeah, it is, kind of. It's easier for me to review, too. Queen Cutlery history. So Queen Cutlery history, QCH, did this article talking about the whole deal. Okay, the whole deal. Okay. And so how Gilbert Cooper came into all this stuff. The machines, etc., blah, blah, blah. So, and then what he's going to do going forward, okay? Manufacturing-wise, exotic handle materials, 1095 steel, all that kind of stuff. So, that's interesting, okay? And only printed part of that article out. And then this says, this is a different company, small family-run company called Traditional Pocket Knives, and they have these knives on their site because I found out, I saw this on a feed on Instagram. Well, Berg Knife is a subscriber of mine, one of the Patreons on my channel, all that kind of stuff, but, I have him in my Instagram feed, and I saw him post this hoss. Okay, and so this is 440 steel, as you'll see on the spec sheet here, 440, 4-inch handle length, that's a lie, 8.75 overall, that's a lie, closed length, that's a lie. Let me see, what else is they lying about? Oh yeah, 2.5 ounces, that's a complete lie. This is not a lie. Silver, nickel silver, and brass on the bolsters. No half stops on this. Pull strength, 7 out of 10. Match strike pull. Okay. Polished blade, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Jigged white bone, etc. And they made like 100 of these, or 75 of these in green jig bone. They made like 100 of them in horn, 100 of them in stag, and 100 of them in white. So I think there was 375 total made. And there's still more of these available, the white ones, and $40 a piece. Did you see that? You see that? You see that? That's crazy. Although, and when you get the paperwork, I won't tell you. Here's 375 were made, okay? Handmade hand pin, sharp 440, 1/8 inch, blah, 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 back spring, blah, 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 silver nickel, etc., etc. And, oh, but also on this, and I was looking for that little piece of paper. Congrats. This knife has some cosmetic issues, but it works great. And so they were saying in the article there, when they say EDC, like EDC, it means it probably has some cosmetic issues, okay? This is the 5100 WB, white bone, baby. And so this, okay, 4-inch handle. Come on, 4-inch handle. Come on, that's what they said. Oh, they're right. Yeah, that's 4-inch handle, my ass. Okay, now, 4-inch, or they say 4.5-inch handle. Okay, hold on. 4-inch blade, I'm sorry. 4-inch blade, is that 4-inch blade? Maybe cutting edge, but we got the tip through there again. Come on. Okay, behave yourself. 4 1/4, 9.5, almost 9.5 at 24 centimeters, okay? You got a 3mm thick blade. You got a 1/2 inch thick right here, 13mm thick handle, okay? Now, like they said, it's 2.5 ounces, so we're going to prove them correct in every way. And you can only imagine that a 9.5-inch knife made out of bone, a lot of steel, silver nickel, brass, copper, whatever, okay, is probably only going to be 2.5 ounces at best, correct? Look at this, 149 grams. You feel like maybe you got lied to? 5 1/4, okay, is a little bit more like over double the 2.5 that they claim. So, no, but that doesn't bother me. It's just obviously typos. But I just thought this was so cool. Berg Knife had this posted. He got one. And thank God I saw his feed. And I go, that is just super ass cool. So cool that I got two. I go back and I go, what the hell? I can't believe they're not sold out. This is insane. So I got a second one because I thought I'll give this one to my brother-in-law. He lives here in the same town in South Florida with me. And I thought, you know, and of course his PTSD, he does this. I don't anymore. I did in college, but I don't know. I just don't feel it. So, but I mean, if it helps you, it helps you. And, you know, I can say he was Afghanistan, Iraq, all that with the Corps, Marine Corps. Okay, so here's, see, but you can see there's cosmetic issues here, okay? Of course, on the one I give him, which I haven't yet because my wife says, hold up, and I don't know, he's not really a knife guy. I'm not sure this would really be all that significant. You know, if you're going to give somebody a knife, you really want them to appreciate it. So, I don't know, but I'm holding off on that for right now. But here's the one I had in my hand that I was going to have as my keeper, and this, I don't know if this rubs off either. And then there was a little thing. You can kind of see the little mark on the back here. Although, you know, you look at the slabs, they line up pretty good. The jig, somewhere in this paperwork, I'm going to, or links and stuff, and you can read that I'm going to give you, it'll tell you about that they subcontract the jigging for the bone scales, okay, and that somebody's probably got an old-time machine to do that, this and that. So, but other than that, hand sharpened, hand built, hand pinned in the USA, of course, not in Titusville where the original was, but all that got bought up and trucked over to Winchester, Ohio. So let's hope Ohio can make knives like Titusville can. And I think they probably can. So this will be really interesting. 1895, that was Shat and Morgan. Not that all the machinery is from that date, but, that's when they started up. And then they went down in 33, and Queen City Cutlery bought them, and blah, blah, blah. Did I already say that? So you'll read all that on both the Queen Cutlery history article, and then you can go on this family-owned side here, Traditional Pocket Knives, which they got a lot of different things, okay? They got a lot of different knives here, but here's another little information that was published last October 2021, okay? All right, so, and this was from Traditional Pocket. And then this is kind of just some stuff. And they sell QSP, and Medford and all that kind of stuff. So, Civivi, blah, 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 Wee Knives, etc., Lion Steel, whatever. So, keep that in mind if you go on their site. Hey, it's not just traditional pocket knives, but this is, I think it's cool. I like history, and all this stuff appeals to me. So, I mean, nothing magical about it, but this is easy to open. It's not a real hard pull. There's no half stop on it. It's a German Hunter is what they call this model. And but I like it, and it's centered. It's decent. It looks like things are lined up pretty well. I mean, there may be some slight cosmetic issues, but nothing that's driving me crazy, especially not for $40, right? And like I showed you, I mean, it comes in this tube, like the GEC knives that I bought come in a tube, and this is the 5100 WB, probably white bone. And like, here you go, there's their 1 year limited, because this is the Weed brand, and I think they were saying the Weed brand is where they're going to do their kind of warm-ups on, and call it Weed and Company for the ones where they're kind of getting their mojo together on how well and tidy and QC'd up they can get their knives. So maybe the blems, if they're blems and issues, then probably going to come out in the Weed name. But, and then they even quote you a little Genesis in here. So, and you want something that'll yield seed. And Weed does yield seed. But yeah, the fit and finish on here is cool. I think it's, and of course, a big draw. If this was, 2-inch blade, whatever, I probably wouldn't have bought it. I probably wouldn't be talking about it. But then again, I'm glad that they did this just to draw me in, and then I'll be watching future production, exotic handle materials, 1095 on most. They'll be carbon steel blades, etc., etc. But yeah, So there's my take on it. But in case this is something you didn't know about, and it was nice and sharp out of the tube, and then I stropped it until it was a butter knife. So let me show you how butter knife it is now. Oh my, that is embarrassing, isn't it? Okay, hold on. Yeah, I got a little bit, but okay. But no, it's not very sharp. And now I did find my KME, thank God. But I think I had this at kind of an odd angle, and then I just gave up and said to hell with it. I'm going to put on my KME. I'm going to get down on it. I'm going to get me a much, much, much better edge on it. So, I mean, they're relatively decent out of the box, but I think they're still working on that technique too. It wasn't crazy. It's not cold steel sharp out of the tube. Okay, my friends. So, yikes. But that can all be remedied, because this is not a super steel that's going to drive you crazy or need a diamond stone or anything like that to sharpen. It should be pretty easy to maintain and do that too. But way cool. I mean, obviously great ergos, big handful of crazy knife. I like it. I like it. Where's the tube? Here you go, tube man. I'll leave you to it. Thank you so much for coming by. We do love them knives, you guys. So sub to my channel if you'd be so kind, and stay sharp.